Shalom, shalom. Just a quick edit for the beginning of my video. This is what the outside world is saying. One of these rich people speak, what is going to be the meat of my lesson.
Nigga, I'll be done pop the trunk on your bitch ass, nigga. Get my motherfucking Uzi, nigga.
What did you say, nigga?
You know what, motherfucker? Eat it.
Shalom, shalom, shalom to the nation of Israel. Giving all about Shemi Awashad, double on to the Apostle Gmail. Shalom to you, Akiyam, in the faith, making your body deliver sacrifice. And Lord, when it's less edifying, straight to the point. And here we have a whole bunch of faces of the so-called black community, and these guys have money, these guys have status, these guys have wealth. He stated that so wealth, status, and a voice pretty much in the society. And here we have a famous rapper, Kendrick Lamar. He spit bars, as we all know. This one, Kanye West, he spit bars. We got Kyrie Irving, Jake shooting hot fire, basketball player. I don't know who's the bottom left, but I'm guessing he spoke on the truth as well. You got Deshaun Jackson, great football player. You got Nick Cannon, hell of an actor and host, whatever. You got Ice Cube, it says, what truth did they all say that got Satan mad? And we know who Satan is, going into Revelation 2 and 9. But, right now these brothers are speaking and they're really marking people, But these brothers are not the leaders of the nation of Israel, But that's not to shun them or to shame them, because at least, they're not being niggas out here and they saying, we are the true Jews, things of those sorts, they being labeled as anti, sim, and things of those sort, and what was I gonna say? I was gonna say pretty much Esau's not gonna kill these niggas because they would be martyrs, they'd be dying for the word, they'd be sacrifices, and not to say that the Lord is dealing or not dealing with them, but the Lord does deal with the meek and the lowly, that's who knowledge is given unto. But just to back up who Satan is, I know that works in tribulation, Revelation 2 and 9, I know that works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. So, the Lord knows their works. He knows what the so-called Jewish people do. He knows their tribulation. It's not actually crazy hard, and they're not actually suffering. And he knows their so-called poverty. That's why he has in parentheses, but thou art rich, because they try to make themselves look like they're lowly, like they don't have it all. But they go back to the finest things in their insides. They have real gold menorahs, all gold jewelry. They have the biggest houses. They got a good car, family health. They got the best doctors. They're eating the best food. They take the best trips, they have the best time. And I know the blasphemy of them, which say they are Jews, blaspheming the name of Yahushua, calling him whatever they call him in their language, saying that that's their God, saying that he's a so-called white man, and he came to save them, and are not, because they're not Jews, but are the synagogue of Satan. Let me try to get that word synagogue, but that's the house of Satan. It's Amalek, Esau, Edom, especially Amalek. The Lord is gonna fuck them up, because if you look at my last video, they really run the world, man. They're the head. They got their finger in all sorts of wickedness. It says, there's a saying: if you want to find the truth, just find the trail of money. And if you look at all those money-making schemes, the dirty way, man, Amalek's behind it. Amalek has life insurance on a lot of the rappers, man, because they know they live a dangerous lifestyle, or people want to hunt them, right? So they make money while they're alive, sign them into those 360 contract deals, and they make money if they die or when they die. The word synagogue goes back to
Strong's G 4864. Synagogue.
A bringing together, gathering, and contracting. In the New Testament, assembling together of men, assembly of men. A synagogue, assembly of Jews formerly gathered together to offer prayers. So in other words, it's a church, it's a house, a house of Satan. That's them. But I had a precept to show why these guys are really the front and right there, the face, why they're popping right now, because they got money. And then there also Jake. Jake with or without money draw attention. So when Jake get money, and they got that status, and they speaking like articulated very well. They're not talking about no fucking, bread circus. It gets attention. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his son. Like, damn, what he gonna say? Because they don't always speak. So the less you speak, the more important your words or whatever you're saying becomes. And that all depends, because one of the elect or a brother that's doing lessons every day, that don't mean just because they're doing a lesson every day, their voice don't matter. Or even if they're doing 2, 3, like Apostle Tahar, that don't mean their voice don't matter. It's just, there's levels to this shit. Like, if they're talking about something worldly and they're constantly talking about it, and it has no spiritual gain, no spiritual value, then it becomes worthless the more that person speak. But if every time a person speaks is dropping gems, especially talking about the name of the Lord, you can never go wrong. You can never run out of value speaking, through the Spirit. Obviously we don't want to speak vain babbling, or we don't want to be uttering things just, out of our butts. We want to be spiritually sound, having our speech seasoned with salt. But the point being is, when through the Spirit, through wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, it's always valuable. It's always something to take, because it's a meal. Someone's always hungry, whether it be for milk, meat, honey, or wine. And look what he said. They exalt it to the clouds. So they throwing that bitch to the clouds. They're like, God damn, like, this nigga's spitting. You feel me? Like, what's he saying? It's blowing up. It's catching heat. Anti-Shem. He's crazy. Make him pay this. Sacrifice him. Cut his deals. Let's hurt his money. But if the poor man speak, the poor being the elect, being the man of the Lord, speak, they say, what fellow is this? Who the hell is this with these garments? Who the fuck is these guys always screaming, talking about Yahweh Shai, just opening their mouths, looking like fools, looking broke as hell with their scruffy long beards. They got their afros, and who are these guys? They need to get the hell off the street. They need to go get a job. They need to go get some money. They need to play a violin or an instrument. They need to shuck and jive. They need to go play football or basketball and shut up and dribble. And if he stumbled, they will help to overthrow him, man. So that's why we gotta have brothers, and that's why we gotta be appreciative of our brothers, because whether it be spiritually or literally, man, we have a mishap, man. They gonna bury us, man. They gonna make sure we don't come up again, and that's why persecution's coming, and that's how we know persecution is gonna come, I want to bring out a precept about the meek, because I was talking about the poor in that last James 3:13. I was talking about the poor in that last verse. James 3:13, who is a wise man endued with knowledge among you? The elect. Let him shew of a good conversation his works with meekness and wisdom, So there's a precept that also says, knowledge and wisdom is with the meek and the lowly, which I couldn't find, Lord willing, one of you brothers comment that for me. But, the meek and the lowly, the poor, that's the elect, that's those who have this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, That's those who are put last and are going to put first. Let me get that precept. Matthew 20:16. So the last shall be first, and the first shall be last. For many are called, for many be called, but few chosen. So all of Yasharallah is gonna be in the kingdom in that right state of mind. But the 12, Yahweh Shai, King David, the 12, and 144,000, and the 1/3, consisted of men, women, and children. And they're gonna be first, because right now they're suffering. Even if they have a little bit of money, they're still suffering for the word. They don't put none of their trust in this world and this financial system. So either way, we really not winning. We really last. Lord willing, I be in that number. And whenever I speak, of things that we must do and should be doing, I speak to myself first and foremost, of course. But Lord willing, just edifying, straight to the point. Shalom.